What's up, everybody? We're sitting here with Alberto Del Rio, De Patron, Rodriguez. Which one do you want us to call you?
You're Alberto Patrono Del Rio. Just don't call me you know what.
Sure.
Just call me Alberto, however you want to call me.
Alberto is fighting Tito Ortiz on December 7th, Combate America, and it's a fight that I'm very excited to see.
I can't wait for this.
You are 42 years old. Tito is 44 years old. He is a killer. I haven't seen you fight in a while. It's been a couple years.
14 years.
This is your comeback in
It's
MMA.
just a couple of years.
Yeah, but it's not like you haven't been doing anything. You've been very, very active. You've been wrestling. You've been training your ass off.
Superstar in the meantime.
Yeah.
But 14 years since you took an MMA fight. Tito's been active, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
and then you're gonna come back and fight one of the greatest of all time, Tito Ortiz. How do you feel about that, man?
I'm excited. That's the kind of man I am. Because for some people, they just because they know my career in WWE and I made a name for myself as Alberto Del Rio in the WWE. They think I'm just jumping from one day to the other. I opened my eyes and I said to myself, "Oh, I'm going to be an MMA fighter,"
Right.
and decided to do it. No, I've been a fighter my entire life. Part of the Mexican national team in Greco-Roman wrestling, competed my entire life, Pan American Games, Central American Games, and of course, from there, I did the transition from amateur to professional, and then to MMA in Japan, fought for Deep, for Pride. When Pride was the best, the craziest organization of MMA in the world, when UFC was not even close to what those guys were doing, their audience and the money they were producing and paying the fighters. So to all of that people, no, I'm not just jumping from pro wrestling to MMA. I've been doing this kind of sport my entire life, and I'm just making a comeback one last fight.
What made you? Why? You've been so successful. You're a successful businessman, wrestling superstar. Why at 42 get in there and get into a crazy fist fight in a
With
cage
a guy like Tito.
with guys right. Tito Ortiz, who is a beast, a monster. Why are you doing this now?
Well, the most important reason. When I started my relationship, working or friendship with Campbell McLaren, my friend, my boss, he wanted me to fight for Combate in the first ever event for Combate Americas. That was 6 years ago in Las Vegas. But, I said, no, I don't feel hungry for that anymore. I'm doing other stuff. So, no, let's just try to do something else. Then years passed and situations in life took me to my divorce, the nightmare custody battle for my children. And that put me in a very bad place in my life.
Sure.
I went down in a horrible depression, and I had important people helping me. Number one, my family, and Campbell McLaren and the Combate Americas organization. They were with me, supporting me. They fought that battle with me, shoulder to shoulder. That battle that sometimes I thought I was not going to be able to come out victorious, right? So once we put all of that behind, I got custody of my kids and everything started looking fantastic. I said to myself, damn, how you gonna repay these people? And you pay loyalty with loyalty.
Right.
The company was doing fantastic, is doing fantastic, and we just needed a little boost, a little something to put us in the place we want to have the company. So what was the answer? Go back in the cage, do one more fight, and you will get all the attention from the media. You will give this company the first pay-per-view ever in history, and you will be repaying them. Of course, my dad found out about this, and he was like, "Hey, boy, what are you doing? I know you. I know you're crazy. I know you always know what you're doing, but I want you to tell me, because I want to make sure that you're doing this for the right reason.
Right.
Because boy, that you don't have nothing to prove to anybody." I said, "I know. I don't have to prove nothing to anybody but to myself. I have to prove to myself that those bad times are in the past, and that I'm still that fantastic athlete, a fantastic father, fantastic man, always trying to lead with the example. That's what I'm doing." And he's like, "Okay, go to the gym and jump in that cage and do what you have to."
So now that you're back into it and you're training again and you got the scar on and you got a little cut on your head, are you? So first off, how did that happen? How'd you get that? And then second off, how does it feel to be back in there fighting again? Blood, guts, the whole thing.
It feels fantastic now, but when we started with the whole going back into the cage process, man, the first week, Jesus Christ, everything hurt, man. Even my eyebrows, man. I didn't know that was even possible. But I was just like, shh, do you really want to do this or not? And I'm like, but, you know, it was my pride because I have always been a wrestler. And I started doing amateur wrestling again. And I went to Austin for that, for my first practice after many years. And those kids were moving me around.
Yeah.
So I went home feeling sad, angry, and I was like, you son of a guns, tomorrow I'm going to come back and kick your ass.
Right.
I went there the next day and they still kicked my ass.
Right.
But a week after I was just throwing, I was throwing everybody. So I was like, no, I can do this. I just have to get rid of all the rust.
Right.
And then I started feeling better little by little. And I know it's going to sound crazy, but then you start enjoying it again.
Right.
You start enjoying. Yes, I know it sounds crazy, but you start enjoying getting hit, getting kicked, enjoying how you're improving. How this guy was kicking your ass 2 weeks ago, and now how you are kicking his ass, and it's just.
So you feel like you're still growing and developing and getting it back.
Yeah, yes, because you know also, and we were talking about this before this interview. The business has evolved in a crazy way. It's totally different now than those days when I was fighting in Japan. We're fighting in the cage, not in a ring. There's different rules. Back then, it was like a collision of styles, wrestler against boxer, boxer against judo guy. But now everybody knows how to punch, how to wrestle, how to do jiu-jitsu.
How's the punching feeling, man? You feel good hitting somebody in the face again?
It's feeling good. It's feeling good. Not so good when they punch you back, but you know, that's the nature of the sport. This is the thing. Like people, like they always say, but why they put you with Tito Ortiz? And I'm like, no, it was me calling Tito out. It was me saying, oh, Tito doesn't have a contract with any organization. Hey, I want
You didn't
Tito.
want like some tin can that they were going to just throw in there for you to slaughter.
No,
you wanted...
that's the thing. Like another reason why we're doing this, everybody knows how I feel, how I defend the place where I come from, how I defend Latinos, how I feel. Because I'm just like, yes, I have a different job, but I came to this amazing country like the carpenter, the plumber, the gardener that is working in somebody's houses right now. I came here to this country with no money, like just enough to get by for 2 months, and then I was lucky and talented enough to find a place to work and show them how good I was or how good I am. Right. And this amazing country gave me the opportunity to change my stars and give my kids, I even get goosebumps when I talk about it, because I'm giving my kids a fantastic life, and it's because this country allowed me to do it. That's why I always say that I was born in Mexico but made in America, because that's the way it was. I'm proud to be Mexican, but I'm also proud to be American because this country has given me that opportunity that I could have never had in my country.
So let me ask you a question now. When you talk about your kids, this is not pro wrestling. This is a fist fight. I understand you know that. But like, you have kids, you're getting into a fist fight with one of the greatest MMA fighters of all time. A guy who still hits hard, a guy who still wrestles hard, a guy who can knock you out.
Yeah.
Do you think about that kind of stuff? Like, it's not like any other sport. There is a real risk of like serious injury when you get into a ring with a guy like him. Have you thought about that?
Definitely. And that's why I got myself out of my comfort zone. I left San Antonio, moved to Phoenix to train with the best ones in the planet. Amazing fighters like Ryan Bader, CV Dalloway, Javier Torres.
You've been training with Ryan Bader?
Yeah, they're helping me. They're helping me.
Really?
The pride of Arizona State.
Right. And light heavyweight champion.
I'm always going to be thankful because they're giving me their time. They're giving me their knowledge. They spend, instead of being home enjoying their family as they should, they're giving me that precious time. And I seriously, amigos, thank you so much for that. And that's why I'm in Arizona. I haven't seen my kids it's going to be 12 weeks next week.
Right.
Haven't seen my kids, completely focused. The organization is letting me do this. They took all the weight off my shoulders. I'm not doing anything but training, eating, sleeping 3 times a day. And I'm doing it because I know about those risks. So I want to go into the fight.
So you're not fucking around. I mean, let's just cut to this shit. You're not fucking around here.
No, not at all.
You're taking this real seriously.
I'm doing since since day one. I said yes because I know I can win this.
Right.
Yes, of course I know who Tito Ortiz is. But we know we have a different Tito Ortiz right now. Everybody knows that I retired 14 years ago, but that could be a factor. But hey, I've been training so hard that I don't think that will be the case. we're gonna find out what happens on December the 7th in McAllen.
You look great physically. You were always a dude when you wrestled. You had a lot of muscles. You were big. You look really lean now. What'd you weigh when you started this journey, and what do you weigh now?
248 when I started, and now
248.
I'm 220 right now.
Wow.
I still have another 15 pounds to go. That was another thing because I'm 42. My nutritionist thought it was going to be harder for me to lose muscle and to cut so much weight, but then my metabolism started to speed up, and then we even had to change and adapt the diet in a different way because I was losing too much weight.
Too much weight.
I was. And we
I wish I had that problem. Right?
But it's now because, man, I'm training 3 times a day, and you train 3 times a day, but against killers. Like you go like my first week in the MMA lab. You know, we did 10 rounds of sparring, 10 rounds, 5 minutes each. Wow. And then, so of course, like you are like, okay, you have to pick a different opponent each round, right? But you look up and you're like, okay, all of these guys are killers, so it doesn't matter which guy I pick. So you go there and you gotta go hard. There's no other way when you're doing this sport. It's not easy. I keep saying this to people. If it was that easy, everybody will be doing it and making money because, yes, we do a lot of money. Yeah, I talk about doing this for the right reasons, but also I will be lying if I don't say that they're giving me good money because that's an important part of course. When you're a professional athlete.
We've talked in the past about WWE superstars who make the transition over to MMA. And there's this feeling with some WWE superstars like who have never fought before in a real fight that they want to go to prove to people. Have you heard from some of your old friends at WWE who are like, oh man, I want to get into this. I want a shot to like really get in and take a pro MMA fight. Have you heard from anybody on that?
I heard that from a lot of guys. Yeah, not just from WWE, but from other organizations. But they're just saying it. They don't really want to do it.
Is there anybody that you think could be successful?
Well, we have like I know Sin Cara, another Mexican good friend, good wrestler. He has an amateur wrestling background. I don't know what his situation is. I read something about him leaving the company letting him go. I'm not so sure about it, but he could do it. Yeah. And you know, I know a lot of people always give crap to CM Punk for trying it, but hey, he had the balls to do it. You know, he was, because people say, oh, he did horrible and he got his butt kicked and whatever. Hey, you know, it's not like in order to be in that case that day, he had to train every single day for at least 400 days. Get his ass kicked in practice, and he did it. Yeah. He lost the fight. That's the nature of the sport. You lose or win. You get knocked out or you knock people out. That's the way it is.
Yeah. He had the balls to go in there. Yeah. Real quick, you brought up CM Punk. CM Punk now somebody who is seemingly back, has a relationship with WWE, is on the new FS1 show. Could you ever see yourself back wrestling with WWE?
The door has always been open in both sides. So, yeah, I mean, I'm not against my business. They're not against their business. You know, this is, at the end of the day, and I do understand this now as a promoter, as owner of companies, nothing is personal, right? You know, when you're an athlete, sometimes you think your boss doesn't agree with you because he doesn't like you for whatever reason. But it's nothing personal. You're running a business, and the most important part in your business is to make it grow. If you have to leave some people behind in the process, so be it. That's the way life is, and that's the way business are. So I understand that completely. The door is open not just for them, for other organizations. And I have always been in touch with all the important organizations in the United States or around the world. So yes, in 2020, I'm going to be doing something again in pro wrestling. Of course, I'm going to continue with Combate Americas. That's a place, like I was telling you, amigos, where I feel like home, like they're my friends, they're my family. They're supporting me as a company. To have a company supporting you in those moments means the work to anybody.
So let's say you go in there and you smash Tito. Let's say you smash him up, right? Just knock him out. It's just an ass kicking. You consider taking another fight after that?
Nah.
No.
Really?
No, because
bullshit.
No.
And I'll tell you why it's bullshit. We're sitting here.
Let me tell you something.
Sitting here, and I can see you getting juiced up talking about this.
No. Yes, but like I'm not. This is the thing. I'm not. the money is good, yes, but that's not the reason I'm doing it. I'm doing it for something bigger than just money.
Yeah.
Thank God I have known.
And so you knock out Tito, and everyone's screaming your name and talking about, holy shit, look what this guy did at 42 years old. You don't think you're going to get the tingles to get back in there and do it again?
I'm get those tingles.
Yeah.
I'm glad that you asked me that, because my boss and Frank Campbell said the same. And he said, do you know that Saudi Arabia, they asked me, and I said, no, he doesn't want to do another fight. Yeah. And Saudi Arabia said, what about for triple the money?
Yeah.
And then I was like, did they say triple the money? Yeah, I'm like, tell the sheik or whoever said that if he gives me triple the money, I'll fight again and I'll become one of your wives. But triple the money. Triple the money.
So never say never.
Right. I was just kidding with the wife.
That's cool, man. So on this card, I know you got there's a lot of fighters on this card. Who's one fighter that people should keep their eye on for this particular card?
All the fighters in Combate Americas are fantastic. The co-main event, Gaston Reina from Uruguay against Tito Cruz from Puerto Rico is going to be a hell of a fight.
Yeah.
Those guys are dangerous. They're good. They're good kids, good-looking kids. All the potential stars. Yeah. But we also have the girls. For the first time, we put in a title for the girls, the fighters of Combate Americas. They're always doing a great job. You know, Combate Americas is always giving a
female MMA is exploding right now. It's more popular than it's ever been.
This is the thing. I remember when Dana said, "I will never have girls fighting in the cage," and he ended up doing it. But us, since day number one, we've had girls fighting for our organization. I always say this, and that's why I love this company so much, because they're doing what they promised since day one. They're supporting the girls. They're pushing Latin. Mexican talent. They're giving opportunity to all the fighters around the world if they want to come. Back in those days when we started, it was us calling them. Please, man, come and fight in our card. And these days we have fighters leaving other organizations to come and fight for us, man.
That's pretty cool, man. Awesome. Do you ever see yourself, all right, here's a better question. What's more likely to happen? You get in business with the UFC and you guys merge that up, or you get in business with Vince McMahon back into WWE?
We're going to buy the UFC. No, I wish we can do that one day. No, I don't know, you know,
because you guys are growing. I mean, you guys are going pretty quick.
Business is, you know how it is. Everything is possible.
Yeah.
We're doing fantastic. These days, we have Kate Del Castillo as one of the investors, one of the owners. We have a huge star that just become one of the investors in the company. I'm talking about a gigantic Hollywood star.
Really?
But I cannot say, no, you don't have to do this. Sebastian. He's like, I know that if I do it, my boss will be really mad.
Right.
All right.
But we're gonna tell you who it is the week of the fight.
You better drop it here.
I'm pretty sure we're gonna end up dropping it here. He's gonna be the one putting that title across my waist.
Oh, really?
At the end of the fight, after I kicked Tito's trasero in McAllen, Texas. But this tells you, having someone with that star power like Kay Del Castillo and this gentleman who is... you'll see.
All right.
You'll see.
Okay.
You'll see.
Now I really want to know.
2 more weeks.
Yeah, I guess so. Alberto, man, it's been awesome talking to you, man. Seriously, thank you for coming in. Good luck.
Good
luck. We'll be watching for sure.
Thanks, Alberto.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate it.
December the 7th, McAllen, Texas. Tito versus Alberto.